Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Barry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm. Now let's get into this. We're sitting at $3.02, trading within a range of 297 to 309. We're down about 1.5% on the 24-hour period. We're holding well above our 273 macro support line. As long as we don't break below that, we're still looking bullish. And I can promise you this one thing for sure. In life, you have many opportunities, but I assure you that you will not have an opportunity like XRP again while you are alive, or probably ever again. XRP will be the currency that replaces the role of the dollar's reserve currency. XRP has been created to dominate financial systems. It's up to you to take that risk, open your eyes, and dive in. And the target is $3.30 for XRP. Our objective is clear. $3.30. Any daily closure below this level is just noise. The real signal comes when we close above $3.30. That's where the magic happens. Remember, $2.73 is our macro support level, and it's crucial for maintaining our upward momentum. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Stay strong and steady, my friends. Now let's take a deep dive down that old rabbit hole. The first NDA excerpt I will share is drawn from a mutual non-disclosure and strategic corporation agreement executed between a Swiss banking major and an American blockchain infrastructure company. What follows is merely the purpose clause. The remainder of the agreement is even more revealing. Purpose of the agreement excerpt. The parties acknowledge their mutual interest in collaborating on the design, development, and validation of secure real-time financial infrastructure that enables cross-border value transfer via neutral protocol agnostic mechanism, tokenization and settlement of regulated financial instruments, leveraging distributed ledger technology, integration of identity verified asset flows, incorporating frameworks for biometric identity mapping, execution of real-time gross settlement, RTGS, simulations in conformity with next-generation financial messaging standards, development of institutional-grade messaging and liquidity channels for wholesale market transactions under emerging international frameworks. Observations from the practitioner's lens. Neutral protocol agnostic is a technical language for a bridge asset such as XRP. Infrastructure that eliminates reliance on a single sovereign currency. Tokenization of regulated instruments references treasuries, sovereign debt, ETFs, and structured notes, not retail crypto products. The mention of biometric identity mapping is far beyond the remit of traditional banking agreement. It signals the future fusion of digital identity rails with settlement systems. The agreement further stipulates this agreement governs the exchange of non-public information necessary to evaluate joint operational models and potential participation in multi-layer liquidity corridors across compliant financial jurisdictions. Interpretation in plain terms. Multi-layered liquidity corridors denotes a convergence of fiat rails, tokenized securities, CBDCs, and neutral bridges operating in tandem. Across compliant jurisdictions establishes the groundwork for a globally interoperable clearance layer, one that no single state owns, but all institutions must eventually interface with. The subtext, a blueprint for tokenized capital markets at systemic scale. It is important to stress, what I have disclosed here is only the purpose clause of the agreement. The full document encompasses operational frameworks, governance models, liquidity allocations, and jurisdictional carve-outs. I will release excerpts selectively at a pace and depth consistent with personal safety. Why this matters? Contrary to the public narrative, Ripple's work was never limited to remittance corridors. These agreements reveal a coordinated effort to engineer a neutral, audible, institutional-grade settlement architecture that's designed to rewire global markets from custody to capital formation. My approach? I will proceed deliberately. Each disclosure will be accompanied by context and interpretation to avoid mischaracterization. The documents exist. They were drafted by legal counsel, scrutinized by regulators, and transacted through the hands of bankers like myself. And I know there are others who have seen even more. And if you found this information valuable, please share, comment, like, and subscribe. And it all starts with Japan. The liquidity crisis will start in Japan. People who say it's a good time to sell XRP and buy back in when the liquidity crisis hits, they have to know the institutions will be illiquid. Imagine the exchanges. You will not be able to buy. And I would have to say it's pretty clear XRP is at the point where institutional money, mass adoption, and real-world utility meet. The community stays strong through the challenges. Now big players are moving in. Here are the 3 key points shaping XRP's future. 1. Institutional interest. When large financial players show interest, adoption tends to follow. XRP's speed, scale, and low cost make it ideal for cross-border payment at size. 2. Tokenization. It's growing fast and could explode as regulations unlock trillions in digital asset value. The XRP ledger is already partnered, integrated through Ripple payments, and battle tested. 3. Stablecoins. Ripple's RLUSD has NYDFS approval and MiCA compliance, ready for institutional use with Axelar and Wormhole adding interoperability. The XRPL can connect to more assets and dApps, boosting its network effect. XRP is positioned at a crossroads of tokenization, cross-border payments, and stablecoins. 3 massive markets. Picture a near future where stocks, real estate, and digital money trade instantly without middlemen. The XRP ledger is built to be a premium solution for exactly that. And too late, Powell just dropped the signal. The Fed chair stood in Jackson Hole and quietly confirmed what Trump's inner circle has been hinting at. The old order of finance is collapsing, and America is preparing to rewire the system around digital assets. You will not hear this on CNN. Powell opened the door to rate cuts, not because the Fed wants to, but because the system is breaking. Job growth is cooling, tariffs are spiking inflation, and the labor market is wobbling. Translation: the elites know the dollar in its current form is unsustainable. Liquidity injections are coming. He called this a challenging situation. Inflation persists, employment is weakening, the Feds must rebalance. This is code. When the Fed says rebalance, it means they are preparing new rails to carry the global dollar system. The biggest shift, Powell announced a return to flexible inflation targeting. What's that mean? No more crazy experiments, or no more artificial makeup policies. Instead, a pivot back to anchored rules-based system. The very architecture Ripple has been building into ISO 222 rails. Tariffs equal Powell's excuse. Digital ID plus blockchain rails equals the solution. When the Treasury demands every DeFi smart contract have ID checks, it's already been announced, and Powell calls for new frameworks, they're telegraphing the integration of crypto into compliance-ready rails. And the only chain with those type of credentials is XRP Ledger. Markets reacted instantly. Stocks surged. Odds of September rate cut hit 85%. Wall Street cheered because they see the Fed flipping dovish. But here's the real twist. Retail thinks this is good for stocks, and reality is prepped for tokenized assets like bonds, ETFs, IPOs, all flowing on-chain. What this means for assets: BTC, the digital gold narrative strengthens, but it won't run the rails. ETH, chained by its own gas fees and lack of compliance. XRP, the neutral bridge asset, ISO ready, designed for high-speed liquidity that fits Powell's rebalanced future. This wasn't about Bitcoin. It's always been about XRP. Trump's fingerprints are all over this. He's been pressuring Powell to cut rates, not just to juice up the economy, but to weaken the Fed's grip and usher in America's crypto capital era. Trump is aligning with Ripple rails, and Powell just gave the nod. Comment down below and tell me what you guys think. And last up, the S1 amendments for spot XRP ETF has been filed by Canary, CoinShares, Franklin Shares, WisdomTree, and Bitwise. Mass adoption is happening, my friends. Mass adoption is happening. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thanks for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.